Labels, aren't they wonderful? You know, if you're gonna label me, can I at least have one of those warning signs of like the prescription things? Oh, crap. Come on, let's go. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, and this is a bipolar perspective, part of Noir Apologia Gaming. And today we're going to discuss labels, okay? How to deal with being labeled and making it where you understand that when you say something about somebody that you could be labeling them. So, labels are very simple in this way. Um, so you got a rich person, you got a poor person, right? Poor person doesn't like the rich person because the poor person doesn't have anything. The rich person has everything. The rich person doesn't like the poor person because the poor person may smell bad. Very simple. So the rich person looks at the poor person and says, "You're a bum." That's a label. Poor person looks at the rich person and says, "You're a snob." That's a label. All right. Now, that's a most simplistic way I could say that. However, it's a little more complicated when it comes to more difficult subjects like mental disorder. I understand that some of us, people with mental disorders, can act crazy. But do you understand that when you call a person that you're literally, I understand acting crazy. That's just a, if you act crazy, you act crazy. But saying that a person is crazy because they have a mental disorder, that's that's not right. And I have pretty extensive experience with being labeled. Okay, um, when I was when I was like 6 years old, we moved from Wisconsin, or excuse me, from Texas to Wisconsin, and I had a little bit of a southern drawl, and I couldn't pronounce my R's right. That's one of the reasons why it has always been so difficult for me to get in front of people. Like doing this right here, it it, it would have been impossible before because I just didn't believe I couldn't stand my voice. I still can't stand my voice. I can't stand my voice right now as we're speaking. But anyway, uh, so I couldn't pronounce my R's and so forth and so on. Well, my mom had taught me before we ever even arrived there how to read and write very well actually, and write in cursive too. Well, when I started to read and I couldn't pronounce my R's correctly, and I had that little bit of a southern drawl and a little, the kids started to tease me, and because, as I told you, my background, I didn't realize it at the time. I was already showing sign. Bipolar looks like what is that? What is that? Lord, in kids it looks like ADD. So sometimes kids are misdiagnosed with ADD when they're younger, and actually it's bipolar. They just haven't had the full mood swings, maybe. So I was, I you know, they thought I couldn't read. They almost held me back in first grade. I'm not kidding, because I wouldn't read out loud. And the reason why I wouldn't read out loud is because I was being teased. It was the first time that ever happened. I was liked when I was in kindergarten here. When I moved up there, I was different. I was the new kid and everything else. And you know what's funny? I never stopped being a new kid up there. I never stopped being labeled with something or other. I never fit inside of a box, and so I was always labeled as loser, dork, geek. And you think you say, well, that's just kids being kids. Yeah, it's kids being kids. But it's kids being kids to a person who had an unbelievably low self-esteem that wasn't talking about it. It was devastating, to be honest with you, because that's what I thought I was, and I stopped doing my homework because of it, and I didn't care anymore. And what it does to kids is different than what it does to adults. What it does to adults is it can cause us to drink, do drugs, everything else, because we start to believe everything. Because if you're called something, it's like the old adage: if one person says it, okay. If two people say it, okay. And then if three people say it, it's probably true. So if someone calls you a loser 3 different times, 3 different people from 3 different areas, you might be acting like one, but for them to call you one, then that should wake you up. That should either wake you up to maybe you should start changing, like, you know, so forth and so on. Sometimes being called something can actually be a good thing in some ways because it can get you to wake up to your actions. However, being labeled is different. Being labeled a person that's crazy and having the government come in and tell you, well, Daryl, you can't defend your home because you're crazy, because if you own a gun, you might shoot somebody. What? What? I can't defend my home? Are you freaking joking right now? And think about this. When people get out of jail and they've served their time, they're always called a felon for the rest of their life. Even if they're not a felon anymore. They're not a felon if you haven't done the felony. If you've served your time, you're not a felon anymore. I don't care what the government tells you. I'm sorry to tell you that, man. And whoever's labeling these people like that, it's wrong. And what I really wanted to do this video about is not just telling you what it is. I mean, everybody knows what labels are. You ought to know what labels are. But how to deal with it and how to counter it. And how to kind of, kind of brush it off your shoulder. Right? Well, how do you do that? It's not easy with a low self-esteem. Low self-esteem, we believe everything. If it's negative against us, we know it's true because we believe that. That's the unfortunate plight of having a low self-esteem. So, how do you deal with that? How do you think? Put in the comments below. Like, seriously, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with problems like that? Okay, how do you deal with people looking at you a certain way just because you look a certain way? Now, everybody knows what's going on in the world today, and I'm not going to get again deep into it because I'm not doing this. Is not a political thing for me. I'm doing this because I care about people, and I want this world to be different. And I'm not trying to run for office. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't be voted in anywhere anyway. However, why I don't understand why people have to be like that to each other. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just, it's not useful. It's a useful waste of time. Do something about it. If you see I understand that there are bad people in the world. I know more. I know as much and maybe more than you do. Whoever's watching, I promise you, I've seen some stuff on the streets, some real nasty stuff on the streets, and I know how homeless people smell. I know. I stayed in a homeless shelter. It's bad. However, and I smell bad. You know what? They're human beings. Instead of turning your nose up to them, do something about it. Instead of calling people with mental disorders crazy, help them. Especially if you see a person with low self-esteem, yelling at them all the time to encourage them. That's not encouraging them. You're only helping their low self-esteem. You're only helping them prove their own point. They're a piece of poo. Just like a better word. I'm trying to be nice about that. They're a piece of poo. And like me, if I felt like a piece of crap, you telling me I'm a piece of crap, how did you help me? You didn't help me. Daryl, you're a piece of crap. Yep. Anything else? Daryl, you're a drunk. Yep. Anything else? Can I have some liquor, please? I'm just saying, you didn't affect me at all. You didn't help me, so that's not it. That's not how we do things. So check this out. Low self-esteem is the worst. Okay, it's the worst thing to try to. This is why I'm doing these steps, too. You know, you have to build yourself up. You are gonna believe all the negative stuff before you believe the positive stuff. It's just part of the deal. It sucks, especially if you've been beat down for a long, long time. If you've been told this and told that, if you've been bullied all your life, or you allowed you, a lot of times it's allowing yourself to be bullied because that's just how you feel like. I don't want to be a, I don't want to be a, I don't want to be a trendsetter. I don't want to be a, I don't want to be a person that rocks the boat. Well, you being not rocking the boat, just rock the boat. You just rock the boat anyway. You just don't do it yourself. The boat's rocking, buddy. Okay, so myself took a long time to get over it, and lots of liquor. And no, I'm not suggesting anybody drink. I'm just telling you that's what it. I had to drink just to feel like I was a man to go talk to a girl. You guys ever feel like that? That I don't have the courage to do that? Look how liquid courage. So, but it can give you encouragement. Because see, liquor doesn't. You do realize that liquor doesn't actually make you do things. That's the biggest lie ever told. Liquor doesn't make you go beat your wife. Liquor doesn't make you go cheat on your wife. Liquor doesn't make you go be a jackhole to somebody that you wanted to be a jackhole in the first place. And that's the point. All this stuff was inside of you. It just gave you no inhibitions. Gave you no morality. So instead of, in other words, you wanted to talk to whatever girl you wanted to talk to. The liquor didn't make you go talk to that girl. It put aside all doubt, it gave you that right? That euphoria in your head where you're like, yeah, I'm the man. Yeah. That's what it does. Okay? It didn't make you go get angry enough to go kill someone. The liquor made me do it. No, Satan didn't make you do it either. No. You didn't have the courage to do it without liquor. You need to get the courage to do it without the drugs. And that's why I'm doing these steps. These steps are so important for this label. Getting over the labels, you have to do these steps. You have to start from the precepts. Get your precepts first. Get your stuff first. And you have to start on the steps. You have to. You have to go through all of the steps. And then reach your top. You have to. It may take 20 years. It took 20 years. More than that. Years for me to get my stuff together. I'm not saying it's going to take you that long. I'm saying for me, it took that long. I didn't have the courage. There is no way I would have gotten on this video like this. No way. Ask anybody who knows how shy I used to be. No way. This is all me and my confidence now. I don't know. Maybe I'm bad at this. Maybe I'll always be bad at this. I think I'm doing okay. Don't you? For a person that did not have the courage to even do that without liquor, I would never have done this without liquor before. No way. You know what? Here's a funny story. I don't normally tell war stories, but this one's funny. It's right down the pipe too. So, you know how people go and they get drunk and they do karaoke. I did that once. That was fun. I had to drink so many shots of liquor before I could get up there like that. Oh my Lord. So many shots of vodka. But anyway, I did good. It was a good duet. I did it with a good girl I knew at the bar. She was a good singer, and I was okay at that song. Anyway, but that's what I'm talking about. See, I was good at music, but not in front of people. I just, nope. And when I was in school, I mean, I couldn't get in front of anybody for anything. So, so I mean, the thing about labels is it's not funny and it's not fun. And I'm smiling about it because I'm thinking about my past, not yours necessarily. And maybe you're where I was before, and it's like this is some painful stuff. But being labeled something, being put in a box. And by the way, if you're a person who likes to label people, just know what you're doing to that person. I want you to wake up every morning knowing that you put that person in a box. That's what you do every day. Whenever you harass a person that you don't like because you don't like them, you put them in a box and you cripple them. And you have no idea what you're doing to them. I had this conversation the other day with my significant other, and I said, I don't think that people in school realized what they were doing to me. Because what they were doing to me is they were leading me to a hospital in which I tried to commit suicide in. So that, and I would never be I'd be the first person to tell you they were kids my age, and maybe a little bit older than me, but they weren't adults doing this. They were kids just being kids, but kids being kids, not realizing they were talking to a person with the lowest freaking self-esteem on the planet. And when they would call me names, I would take it to heart. I never took it as teasing. I took it as that's who I was, a loser. They called me all sorts of other names I can't repeat on here because of, I don't want people thinking bad about me, but they called me some bad names. And so what they did was they forced me in a box that I already wanted to be in anyway, and they closed it. They closed it. They closed it, and it took me a long time to push that box open. Long time. And so that's what you do to people. When you label someone and you label someone really bad, it's not funny. Bullying is not funny. That's what labeling is. It's bullying. You know, you don't have to beat someone up or push someone around to bully someone. I've always said that mental abuse is worse than physical abuse, in my opinion. I've always said that. That's why I think things like rape and things that they're done to kids, I think that is the worst freaking abuse in the history of ever. Because what you're doing to that person, at least murder, you kill that person and you end their life. They don't have to live with the memory of what you did. And bullying is, you don't know what you're doing to them. And kids, not that kids are going to be watching this, but parents that talk to their kids about this stuff, this is what you would tell them, in my opinion. You have no idea. You don't know that person like you think you do. There's only one person when I was in high school that knew me like that. And he got teased too because he was friends with me. Trust me. I was never accepted in that school. Never. And I never forgot about that. And I had a lot of anger, a lot of hatred. I talked about this the other day with my significant other. I had a lot of really bad stuff came out of my mouth and out of my mind. What I wanted to do to those people, even 5 years later. Every time anybody would ever mention about, how was your school life? Oh, it would just make me so angry. Because I felt like it was all their fault. And it wasn't all their fault. It was already going that way anyway. They just pushed me into the box. I was going into the box. It didn't matter. It would not have mattered if I was in Wisconsin or Texas. It would not have mattered. I was going that way. I mean, it might not have been a bad or it would have been different at least, but I was going that way. And that's unfortunate. But all I'm saying is when you're talking to another person, you have no idea when you say something to them what that means. So let's be good to one another. I know that sounds so frou-frou, right? It sounds so oh my God, kumbaya. No. I can tell you some horror stories if you really want me to, but I won't. No, that's not what this is about. It's about encouragement. About trying to encourage people to get through things. Labels aren't funny, man. They're not funny. They're not, and they prevent people from getting jobs too. By the way, as adults, that's a whole nother thing. There's several videos I could stem off this, and I may still that are separate, but they're part of the label subject about why it happens. Why does this happen? Well, I'm not going to talk about it right now. I just want to discuss this and tell you that it happens, and kind of give you an overview of my viewpoint of it, and how you're going to get through it. And how you can get through it is through these steps I'm giving you. I'm telling you they work. And it won't necessarily take you 20 years, like I said. I had to take 20 years. Alright? So be good to one another. May the Lord of Light bless you in all things. Goodbye. I had bipolar disorder and PTSD, and I was in that position. I was a broken man 15 years ago, and I fixed my life. And everybody talks about changing this world, and so forth and so on, and everybody talks and talks and talks, and they never do anything about it. Well, here I am. I'm going to do something about it. I'm tired of the misconceptions about mental disorder. I'm tired of the directions that some people try to give to people with real problems in life. Really examine your life. Want to without knowledge is ignorance. If you don't know what it's going to take, if you don't know why you're doing things, why you want to change your life, there's no point to it. I want to create desire in you to change your life, especially if you have been abused, if you have been told all your life you're a loser. You should examine why that is. I was a loser. You understand? Like 15 years ago, I really was. You do need advice. You can't have just one set of eyes on your life. You have to have perspective, and you might not want to hear it. Do you think I wanted to hear that I was a loser? I didn't even want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. That's why I drank so much. Good Lord, I was an alcoholic because of it. I didn't want to do it live. So check this out. Like, I didn't believe in myself. I hid myself for so long. I don't want other people feeling like that. I know what it feels like to be you. I really do. But you don't have to be.